Hi Flosstube, this is Jeannie again, and I am back with number 2. It's been a while. Didn't expect to go this long, but had some unexpected life events that sort of put me behind. So some tough stuff, but getting through it and finding that stitching has been really, really helpful. So anyway, again, you can see I'm not in front of the camera, just not really ready to do that yet. So, and if you look back at my first Flosstube video, I give a little bit more of an explanation with that. But today I wanted to do a few things. I wanted to do a few shout outs, a little bit of haul. I've been hauling a lot, but I'm not going to show you everything at one time because I don't have the technology or the camera battery to probably handle it. So I'm going to just sort of combine things and that sort of thing. I'm going to show you my whips, and I'm going to do my whips currently, you guys, are things that I'm doing really to learn and to get back into cross stitching. So I'm going to do what I've learned with each one of my whips, and then and show you where I am. I'm fairly close to some finishes, so I'm excited about that. And then again, I'm going to do I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, and then what my future plans, what I would like to do in the future. I'm sorry, I have some notes over here and I lost my place. So anyway, again, you're looking at a needlepoint. That was my mother-in-law's that her friend Betty Howard did for her in 1989. And isn't it beautiful? Just so intricate. And boy, the French knots are crazy on this piece. But anyway, so let me go ahead and start with my shout outs. I wanted to go ahead and shout out Melly Ellie Stitches, and I will put her information below. She's relatively new to YouTube. I think she's been stitching a while. She may be like me, who stitched and then took long breaks and then stitched again, but she's, oh my gosh, she's just super cute, and I love her projects, and her stitching is really nice. And then also wanted to mention Tiffin Stitches. She's also new to YouTube. I guess I'm kind of drawn to the newbies since I'm relatively new, but I also love what she stitches, and she's just got a really great energy. She just did her first stitch with me, and so I love that. And then the last one I want to mention is Artful Stitchery, and that's Rachel. And you guys, I've been watching Rachel for years. She's a mixed media artist as well as a stitcher, and I didn't even know she did cross stitch, but I've been a subscriber to her mixed media channel for years and just love to watch her videos, her process videos, and I just find them really relaxing. She's got a really pretty British accent, and she's just real fun, really sweet and fun to watch. So I encourage you guys to check out those three stitchers. Now let's talk a little bit about haul. Let me move this out of the way. I did find an LNS that is relatively near me. I mean, it's about a 30-minute drive, I guess, from where I live, and it's called Thumbelina's in, let me see, Thumbelina, and it's in Solvang, California. So, and this little store, you guys, is mostly kits. He did have some Mirabilia patterns. I was hoping to find a place that had lots of fabrics to choose from and different things, but he only had DMC. He had a lot of dimensions kits, and that kind of thing. But he did have, like I said, he had some Mirabilia patterns. He had some other things, but he was a really nice fella. And anyway, so I did get a few things while I was there. I went ahead and got these are little local kits, and there's the name of the store, and these are called Art Ventures, original design by Jean Lanning. I think that's, or maybe it's Layering, I'm not sure, I can't really tell, but he had all the states, and so I went ahead, and there's Solvang. It's a little Dutch village, really cute. So I went ahead and got California, because that's where I live now, and then I also got Indiana, because that's where I'm from. So, but one of the things, you guys, I'm not sure what this thing is. I need to show it to my husband and say, what is this? Because clearly, I mean, if you look at this, you know, there's our industry in Indiana up by the steel industry, that's up by Chicago, although it's not in the right place. Basketball, of course, racing, of course, covered bridges, corn. Yes, we could have soybeans on there too. But if anybody knows what that thing is, let me see if it'll, I don't know what that is. and what that has to do with Indiana. So I might leave it off if and when I stitch it, but anyway, those were little kits that I just bought there, and they come with Ada. I don't know if I'll do them on Ada or not. And then I also bought, I did buy one DMC because I'm going to show you in my future projects. I did buy a pattern with the called for threads, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the thread in it that is called for, so I went ahead and got from him the DMC substitution, and I don't know, I think I'm going to use the called for fancy floss, but anyway, I did go ahead and pick that up. And then he did have some linen. It looked like it had been there a while, but and this is a 36 count linen, and you guys, this is an offcut, and he just gave me this, which I thought was so sweet, and it's a fairly big piece, but I've never, if you watched my first video, I haven't stitched on linen before, but I love the way it looks. I love how slubby it is. I love the drape of it and everything. So anyway, he had two different pieces, and he's like, pick which one you think you would want to use, and I said, I think I would get this one, and like I said, he just gave it to me. So I thought that was so nice, and like I said, it's a decent, it's not very wide, but it's long, or vice versa, and he did measure it for me to make sure that my project would fit on here. So anyway, so I thought that was really sweet. So if you're ever in Solving, California, it's worth checking it out. And I need to go back and look around a little bit more, because I've watched a lot more Flosstube, and now I probably would notice some other things potentially that he would have. And let me show you what I'm planning to do on, I think I'm going to do it on this piece. And one of my things I've really wanted to do, and I did get this from 123 Stitch, is I wanted to stitch the Old Irish Blessing. And this has lots of significant meaning at different points in my life. And so I wanted to stitch that. So I just did a search, and I found this one. This is by Twisted Threads. Let me show it to you a little bit closer, but I also thought this one might be a good one to do on linen for the first time, because it's just words. It's only 3 colors, and anyway, I thought it was pretty, and I want to stitch this up to go in the entryway of my home. So anyway, so that is the pattern that I got, like I said, from 123 Stitch, and then here are the called for fancy flosses, and these are, and I've never used fancy floss before, but I think the variegation is really pretty. And they say these are color fast, so I'm assuming I could probably wash them, but this is tarnished gold. This is the Gentle Art tarnished gold, the Gentle Art straw bonnet, and then the Gentle Art dried thyme. So there's the colors, and like I said, I got, this is the DMC equivalent for the tarnish. I was afraid the tarnished gold was almost a little bit too brown, but now that if I do use this linen, I like the way all 3 of these flosses stand out on this linen, and I love them together. So I probably will just do the called for threads, and I don't know if you can see on the pattern, but you can't hardly see straw bonnet on whatever fabric this is, the called for fabric. So I wanted something a little bit darker, so that would show a little bit. But anyway, so this is one of my future projects that I am wanting to do. So anyway, so that is my little haul from the local LNS, and a little bit from from 123 Stitch. And let me show you guys too, I have learned about needle minders, and you guys, these things are life-changing when you don't keep losing your needle. Oh my gosh. So because now I want a needle minder that goes with every project, I made a couple purchases from down Sunshine Lane, and look what I got. I got this shamrock to go on that one while I'm stitching. While I was at it, you guys, I got see if that's going to focus. This little guy, this was actually going to be for Valentine's Day, for my little heart stitch that I'm doing right now, but it's just too big and heavy for that little piece. And then I also got this mermaid, and that's a little foreshadowing. I did get a Nora Corbett that I'm going to do. I haven't kitted it up yet. I'll show that to you when I kit it up. But anyway, so I got these needle minders. I actually had one more, but it's on a project, so I'll show it to you when I get to my projects. But But anyways, so I got those, and then because now, like I said, I want a needle minder that goes with every project. And then I went ahead and purchased a few more. So I got a Christmas one, which I thought was so pretty with the gems. I went ahead, my daughter actually bought one of these kits. She wants to make one for her boyfriend's mom that's Arizona. So, and she loves The Little Mermaid. And actually the Nora Corbett that I got is a mermaid. And so I might give this one to her, this Little Mermaid one. And then I just got one for the summer. And then I actually thought I only bought one of these little ghosts, but there was two on the card when they sent them, so they sent me two, which I thought was nice. But there's that, and then I have a couple other ones on my project. So there's that. And while I'm talking about, I guess, about future projects, you guys, I'll show you the other one. I think once I get one of my whips done, that I'm also going to start besides the Irish Blessing is this one. And a lot of the projects, you guys, that I have chosen are things to kind of warm me up for the next thing I want to stitch. And like I said, I wanted to do a Mirabilia or a Nora Corbett, and I thought that this little Dimensions Gold Petite might be a good practice for that, to see if, number one, if I like stitching people, and number two, if I like beading and the shiny thread and things like that. So anyway, so I found this one, and yeah, and this one has some significant meaning to me as well. I'm not normally into angels, but this one I'm actually going to do as a dedication to someone. So anyway, so this is probably those two, the Irish Blessing and this one will be probably the next two that I start. I have, again, a Nora Corbett that I want to do for my daughter, and then I actually have a Clouds Factory I want to do for my son, and those might go in the rotation, but I don't know how much I'll show those here on Flosstube, because I might try to keep them as a surprise. I don't know. And my daughter, I don't think, watches my videos, but my son, he lives away from me, and he does watch them from time to time. So anywho, so there's that. So those are probably my immediate starts. Once I finish, I have 3 whips in rotation, and I really don't want to do too many more than that. So I'm going to try to get some things finished before I start something new. So let me go ahead and start with my whips and where I am on them and what I have learned. Because like I said, I realized by watching you all what a novice stitcher I am. So anyway, so this was my new start the last time, and it's, like I said, it's from old stash, something I've had in my stash for probably close to 30 years, and a little dated, but I thought it was kind of a good thing to start on. And this is where I am on it. This is another one of my new needle minders. I had to use a itty bitty one for this little tiny project, because this is like a 6x6, but anyway, and it was fraying really bad, you guys. I want to have a loose thread here, but it was fraying really bad, so I needed to I got into my scrapbook stash and used some washi tape on the edge instead of masking tape. So I guess I've come a little ways. Let me see, maybe I need to zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. So anyway, so let me tell you what I have learned from this whip. Again, this is the Love Makes Life Bearable by Dale Burdett. And what I have learned, you guys, from this one, again, needle minders. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic invention that is. And I mean, they're cute and collectible, but so useful, right? Also, stitch tension, you guys. I'm not very good at stitch tension. It's kind of bumpy. So I've been working on that. Also, this one is the closest thing I've done so far to a full coverage piece. And I also find that I need to pay attention, because I like to stitch. I stitch, I guess it's called cross country. I don't really understand what that means, but I think that means that you're not parking your thread, and so basically, and I like to, one of my little stitchy quirks is I like to use up all the color of one thread before I rethread my needle. So, and I will do like the half stitches all the way across, and then I'll go back. And I find, when I'm going from left to right or whatever, and I've done that for a while, and I move down to the next row, then I go back from right to left, I am in this rhythm, and I will start the next row the wrong direction. So I have learned that I need to, so this one does switch back and forth. And like I said, you guys, these are my learning curve pieces. And so I'm not, and I think I've only been doing that on this one. But that is my, like I said, I don't want to say I don't care about this one, because I do. I think it's going to be cute when it's done. And, you know, they all take so much work. You can't hardly not care about them. But this one is just a practice piece. This is for me. I'm not giving it to anybody. So I didn't pull it out and change it. I'm just trying to be way more mindful of that I'm in the right direction when I'm starting a stitch. And then, but I do have to say I love the stitch count on this one. This one I believe is, it doesn't say on the package, but I think this is 18 count. And I do love the smaller stitch size. I just love the way it looks finished. I love how compact it is. I love the way it feels when it's all stitched, that kind of thing. And I love stitching with pink. I learned that about this. And then I also, you guys, I like a small needle. This one, okay, again, the needle size wasn't in the package, but it's, I think it's a 28 potentially. And so I find that I prefer a 28 or a 26 over a 24. But, cause I bought some 24s thinking that's what this needle was, and they're way bigger. So, anywho, so that is what I have learned from the, Love Makes Life Bearable. So, and that's where I am on that. So, my next one is a dimensions kit. This one's called Let It Be. And again, this is kind of a practice piece for me. So, but I'm finding, because I just bought this as something to do when I was traveling on a plane, you know, something to do on a plane. And you know, and it's cute. And I got it, you guys, for the butterfly and the bugs on here. I thought the bugs were cute. But we live in an area where the butterflies actually winter. So we have these butterfly groves and monarch butterflies everywhere out here. But anyway, so I thought the pattern was cute. I like the colors and everything, but again, I'm not like, oh, I just love this or love this pattern. Well, you guys, what I'm learning from this one is they're so much cuter once they're stitched. And so I'm really, really enjoying this one now, much more than I thought I would. I also, what else about this one? Again, washi tape. Like I said, I've graduated from, I'll probably start stitching them so they don't fray, but, using the washi tape, and it makes it look kind of cute. And this is where I am on this one. So I'm making some progress. The other thing that I learned about this one, there's my little needle minder I'm using for this. Isn't that one cute? It's a little rhinestone butterfly. But this one, what I have learned about Let It Be is that, you guys, I love backstitch, and I didn't even realize that a backstitching love or hate was a thing until I started watching you guys, and but I find that I really enjoy it. So anyway, so I have, and the concept of not waiting until the piece is completely finished to start backstitching. I'm doing a mind-blowing. So I love that. So as you can see here, I've got the pots backstitched, and this whole blue flower is done, and the ladybug, except for the French knots. I haven't done those. And you guys, my mother-in-law used to do my French knots for me years ago, and I don't know. I'm going to have a practice piece, I think, to do them. But anyway, but I am really, really loving how this one is coming out, and I love the colors in it. They just look so much better when they're actually stitched. I love this butterfly, and this is actually going to be a dragonfly that you'll be able to see more once I get it back stitched. But I just have a little bit on the yellow flower started. But anyway, so again, that is Dimensions Let It Be. So, and where I am on that. Enjoying that one. And then my last one is the Leisure Arts. This is my 23-year-old whip. It's the Leisure Arts to Have and to Hold. And like I said, I had started this, and if you want to see where I was on it, I've actually made a lot of progress. I'm really close to finishing this one. But I think I'll need to zoom back out for you. This is pretty big. So, whoop. There we go. So, so this is the pattern. In fact, I'm doing it again in this colorway, but here's a larger picture of the wedding sampler. And like I said, I'm getting close to being done. And what I have learned about this pattern, and let me show you where I am. And I don't know if in my camera angle, if I'll be able to show you. Here's the top. And this is, I did more of the hearts. I have the light blue triangular border finished all the way around, and I have let me show you the bottom. I have all the leaves on the vines finished all the way through, and so really all I have left to do, and most of the dark, actually the burgundy I have finished, and the dark pink, and now I'm just finishing that up. So I just really have the hearts to finish. So I guess, like I said, I'm making good progress. But one thing I have found, you guys, about this one, and then I have to personalize it. I think I am going to give this to my cousin who's getting married in I think it's June or July. So I should have plenty of time to get it done before then. And I just hope I have enough to frame it, because look it up here, you guys. So, and I probably will have this one professionally framed because it's a wedding. It will be a wedding gift. So I hope that they can work their magic at Michael's or wherever I have to have it done. I don't know of a framer here, so I'm going to have to do some research. But this was my first little needle minder that I got. This is a Mill Hill. And because I didn't know, when I was watching your videos, you guys, I didn't know even what they were. I'm just, what are those cute little things on the fabrics? I didn't even know they were magnets. So anywho, but yeah, so here's to having to hold. Like I said, I'm hoping to get this one done here probably in the next few weeks. And so what I have learned from this one is I do like having something on, this is 14 count cream Ada, and I do like having something on a larger count. And I do like something that has a lot of repetition, because you guys, I can see this in the evening. One of the things I'm finding on my smaller stitch counts, or things that have, you have to do a lot more counting, have a lot more, thread changes, and is that I have to do those during the day. And I need to look into getting like an odd light or something, because I don't have something like that. But this one, because it's repetition, there's lots of repetition, and you can just go and go and go. This one I can work on in the evening. So this is my one I work on in the evening. So anyway, so yeah, so I think that's everything I wanted to tell you about today. A few things I would like to do in the future. I want to do a traditional sampler, and I actually have a kit coming that is it's a Blackbird Designs, and I find I'm really, really drawn to their patterns, and I have that coming. I also want to do a cute pattern, and like I said, I'm going to do a Clouds Factory for my son, and it's kind of one of the cutesy ones. I already have a Nora Corbett pattern that it's a mermaid, and that I need to kit up, and I'll show you that once I get it kitted up. I also want to do a one color piece. I don't know that I'll do a long dog. Those are beautiful, but they intimidate me a little bit, but I want to do a one color piece. I also want to find a piece that has lots of little motifs that make up a bigger design. I just think that would be really satisfying to just be able to do a little piece of one and have those little finishes along the way. So that is my plan too. So anyway, all right, you guys, well, thank you for watching, and thank you for the shout outs that I've had and all the nice comments. This is such a nice community. I'm really enjoying it, and having fun with my stitching. And like I said, it's sort of been my sanity over the last month, because I've had a challenging month. So anyway, happy stitching to you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.